So guys, it's been a while since we've last seen prototype Model Ys, and Tesla is doing in all of their ability to keep it a secret, but the latest sighting indicates something else, something that is completely different. In the last few sightings, we've seen Model Ys covered up front to back, similar to what we had seen with the unveiling of the Model 3. The front had nothing but a tiny cutout for the headlight, and the same goes for the rear, where there was a slight little cut to expose some of the taillight for safety reasons. This ultimately leaves us to believe that the Model Y is going to be getting the exact same treatment as the Model 3, getting a front end redesign as well as a rear end, giving it a more aggressive and more menacing look overall. Now, through another recent spy shot, we got to see the company testing this purposely built Model Y on the track to see how it performs when it's pushed to the limits. Just outside of Giga Berlin, we got to see multiple images shot in series of this new Model Y covered up completely in camouflage. During this entire track testing period, we got to see the car maneuver in various different ways, but one would really show the improvements on the mechanics of this car. From this small clip of images here, which also came from a video, you can see the turning radius of this car as it does a very tight turn, and this overall shows the improvements on the upcoming possible suspension and steering rack upgrade. There is also a very high likelihood that the exact same suspension setup on the Model 3 Performance with the adjustable dampers is going to make its way onto all the trims of the Model Y. This is going to be especially useful being an SUV, being a family vehicle. You can turn up the softness of the dampers and give that extra plushness when you do go on that road trip. Now, there is a lot to discuss and go rounds through all the details we have found in the latest prototypes. If you want to know more about each one, definitely go check out my previous video. I'll drop some of them in the description below and up top there. But if you are really interested in seeing what's going on with the latest Model Y prototypes, go on to my Model Y playlist. Over there you guys can check out all the videos top to bottom. So now the most important question here is, what are we seeing in terms of time frame, and should you really be waiting for the Model Y Juniper, or should you be getting one right now with all the federal incentives available? According to Elon Musk, in a recent Twitter post, there will be no Model Y launch this year, at least in the US. A few months back, Elon sent out an email to all internal staffs within the US indicating that they should be prioritizing the sale of the current Model Y, and that there is no upcoming Model Y that should be promoting. Overall, there shouldn't be a confusion between the staff and the customer, and that there is no better time to buy than right now. Now, of course, even with this coming directly from Elon, we must take it with a grain of salt, and realistically, if you are in the market to buy a Model Y anytime soon, I would wait out just a little bit just to ensure that you are not going to be the last batch before the next generation of vehicles come out. There is a very high likelihood that the end of this year is when we are going to be seeing the first introduction of the Model Y Juniper. The Model Y refresh is going to be happening somewhere outside of North America first, very similar to what they had done with the Model 3 launch, and then eventually make its way into Canada and the US. Now, just an FYI here, in terms of the approximate ETA of when we first saw the prototype of the Model 3, it took approximately 18 months before we started seeing any indication that it will be unveiled, and by the 19th month is when we saw the vehicle officially announced. So if Tesla is abiding by this time frame, we will probably be seeing it sometime in 2025 guaranteed, but the earlier the better, and right now it seems like Tesla is way ahead of schedule with that recent sighting that we have just seen about a week ago. The car completely covered up with some very key areas indicating that we are getting hardware 5. Now, as you know by now, Tesla has already begun production of hardware 5. The design has been completed, but they have also gone ahead with the production line of the interior components for the Model Y as well. This means that the dashboard, the middle console, and various other components are already flowing off the line and now just waiting to be assembled into these new Model Y Junipers. Now, what's even more great about this is that there are already test engineering vehicles driving around the streets of California as of right now, and our latest sighting has seen the Model Y also covered up but there is a front bumper camera. Once we turn down the contrast, the front bumper camera is right there, ready to go, and the same goes for the Model 3 with their recent testing clearly showing that hardware 5 is on the horizon and there is going to be the inclusion of that exact same bumper camera in the exact same placement. Now, of course, there is so much going on in the realms of hardware 5 as well. I definitely recommend you guys to check out all the videos because you don't want to miss out on the next generation technology. Tesla is moving over to the AI 5 chip and the next generation AI model. This means that there is a lot going on into the next generation vehicles. You guys don't want to miss it out. Lots of it, I'll drop it in the description below and up top there as well. Alright, so to confirm that the Model Y is in production ahead of schedule and is preparing to launch by sometime late this year, the recent sighting that we have seen is going to be one of the biggest one, and it's going to be something that really blows our minds in terms of what we can expect with the new Model Y Juniper. Now, this recent sighting here has to be one of the biggest yet, as Tesla has gone through extreme lengths to cover it up from top to bottom, from front to rear. No access area for anyone to see what's on the inside and for what's underneath this cover. But before we get to that, I want to take a moment and thank the sponsor of this video, Tilliard, for sending over this product for us to take a look at. This is a wireless CarPlay and Android Auto adapter built specifically for your Tesla. It is a completely seamless plug-and-play system that's ready for you to enjoy as soon as you step into your car. The small form factor of this wireless adapter makes it really easy to store inside of your armrest or just about anywhere that has a direct access to a USB. Speaking about the small form factor, the entire package is extremely simplistic, comes with 2 cables, a user manual, and adapter itself. So if you enjoy Apple CarPlay or Android Auto in all of your cars, you can simply unplug it and move it over to the next. So as simple as it sounds, plug it into your car, go through the user setup instructions, and just within minutes, you should be up and running and connected through the system. Now, this adapter is currently compatible with all Teslas built after 2018, and through the continuous over-the-air update this unit receives, there will be support for many future vehicles to come. The best thing about this wireless CarPlay and Android Auto adapter is that all the main functions are supported right out of the box, so things like Waze, Spotify, Messages, and even Siri is pre-programmed and ready to go. Now, if you are interested in getting your hands on one just like this, drop a link in the description below. Make sure you use my discount code JOHNE at checkout and you will get 25% off over there. Anyways, let's get back to the video. So this Model Y here in question looks to be the exact same one that the company has been testing over the past few months. But this time here, right in the day of light, we get to see the new headlight design exactly as we did for the Model 3. And this looks so much sleeker, so much better in every single way. But if you also look inside of the front windshield, which is the only area that is unblocked and the only place that you can see through, there is no stalks at all. This is going to be the exact same stockless design which they have put across their entire lineup, with the Model Y being the last one out. Now, going through all the little details that we can see here, right at the bottom where the radiator is, we can see that there are a few cutouts at the bottom. This is for the airflow to get into the car and cool the various components. Now, through these cutouts, unfortunately, we are unable to see the front bumper camera. It is unlike the last leak that we've seen where turning down the exposure would highlight this new cover. But I don't doubt whatsoever that it is there and it is just sitting right behind this cover, and it is showing all the viewing angles that it needs to see. Now, I know for sure a lot of you guys are going to look at this image and compare it right next to the Model 3 and think otherwise. You might be looking at the overall proportion and the height and how it sits in comparison to any of the cars and objects around it. But if you really look into the details, you can see it is anything but. First off, the Model 3 sitting next to it is a 2018 model year and technically should be sitting higher than the Model 3 Highland. But in this case here and in this shot here, you can see it regardless of whatever vehicle it is sitting taller than the Model 3 2018. So if we put it that the Model 3 Highland should be sitting lower than the 2018, the only possible vehicle here is going to be the Model Y that sits higher higher than this vehicle. Now if we dive a little bit closer here and we start looking at the ceiling of both vehicle, if we were to line it up right next to the charging post behind them, you will see that the Model 3 2018 is a little bit lower, about 1.5 inches to 2 inches lower on the charging post than that of the car next to it. Now coincidentally enough, this is the exact same height difference from the Model 3 to the Model Y, about 1.5 to 2 inches. Now just as an added little bonus here, we do have a Model Y just sitting right behind it, and if you put them side by side and at the perfect angle, you can see that they are approximately the same in terms of where they are to the charging post. Now last but not least, ask yourself, when was the last time you saw any Tesla vehicle being transported this way, completely covered up top to bottom? Even the most expensive premium car in their lineup doesn't get the same treatment. The Model S, the Model S, and the Cybertruck is only covered up the front to back to avoid all the rock chips when it's being transported on the semis. So the chances of this simply being another Model 3 being sent over to the showroom for owners to take delivery of is very unlikely, and the chances are slim to none. There is a very high likelihood that this is either the Model 3 Juniper or some other next generation vehicle that Tesla is taking all precautionary measures to hide it from the public. Alright, so what does this all mean? It could mean that we are expecting to see another major revamp to the Model Y outside of what we are already expecting. There could be additional body changes to the overall vehicle exterior, and could be preparing for some camera and sensor placements around the car that we have not seen before. The fact that they are going through great lengths to hide the body panels and the side doors, this means that it's going to be something much more than what we had seen with the Model 3 redesign. Now, in addition to that, we might be seeing something much more on the inside as well, being that this is the best-selling vehicle in the entire world. They could be giving so much more than what they had with the Model 3, meaning that the interior could be completely different, and this could be the reason why they are covering it up so securely. All this adds up to is that this is the real first indicator that Tesla is taking a major leap in what they are doing with the Model Y, and that we could be seeing very soon, much sooner than what we had anticipated. Now in the next couple of weeks, there is no doubt that we are going to be seeing more and more of these engineering test vehicles, and there is no doubt that there is going to be some slip-ups and lots of leaks coming out of what we can expect to see on the inside, as well as all the covered areas. Now all of this is going to happen for the next couple of months until Tesla is finally ready for the mass production and the ramp up before they start unveiling the car. As always, I will be keeping a close eye on every little thing that comes up in regards to the Model Y Juniper. Now that it is the vehicle we are focusing on this year, there is going to be no missed areas, so make sure you stick around to this channel and hit that subscribe and that bell notification if you haven't already done so, and follow me on Twitter at HeyJohnE. Over there you guys can chat with me, DM with me, and I will respond as quickly as possible. But anyways, this should be it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is John once again. Peace out.